Right, folks, welcome to our Cheltenham previews. If you don't know how we're going to work them, if you watch back on our Dundalk previews, or if you do watch our Dundalk previews regularly, you'll know exactly how we're going to work this. Me, Dean, and Alan are going to give our selections, really, and hopefully knock a few winners and maybe a few nice each-way prices out. Dean, anything to add?
No, definitely not. I think it's just hopefully people enjoy the week and make a few points. That's the important things, and all steam ahead then, full steam ahead then for Dundalk on Friday night. Hopefully.
Yep. If we do half as good as we do at Dundalk, we'd be doing all right.
You're right.
And just on that note, for those of you who have been watching the videos, will know that Hollywood Bets are running the Punters Challenge for Dundalk, and they are now running it for Cheltenham too. So each day of the Cheltenham Festival, they have a prize pool of €250 available. So yeah, it's a free competition. If you don't want to deposit money into a betting account, all money then would go to charity. But if you do have a betting account, then the money's yours if you win, really.
You bet €10 on the day up until the last race, I think it is, to avail of or to be in with a chance of winning the cash prize. Like anybody that follows our previews at Dundalk and maybe follows along with the Hollywood Bets challenge or Punters Challenge at Dundalk, it's really fun. Covers the day. It's about a crack. You get to see who's all entered and who's picked what and what points, and it's a good way for testing yourself out against a pile of other people who love Dundalk or now Cheltenham.
Yeah, like that's it. Like if you don't fancy having a bet yourself, like it's a fun way of getting involved, really.
Yeah, and it lasts the whole day as well, like which is the exciting thing.
Exactly.
And they work it by. Are they working it, Ryan, the same as the Dundalk? How many's entered in the race? You get points for, so say if you won a 5-horse race, you get 5 points for that race, and then if your selection one's at 4-1, you get another 4 points on top of that. Is that correct?
There will be a tutorial video on our Twitter page and our Facebook pages tomorrow.
Yeah, so do be sure to check them out. And I think if you go onto the hollywoodbets.ie for anybody listening or watching it from the Republic of Ireland, they will have a tutorial on their website as well for it. It'll be near enough at the top. I think I've seen today when I was on the website.
Yeah, and the links, all of them will be in the description below. Now, anyway, Dean, into the Cheltenham stuff. We'll have Alan on. Right, folks, welcome back to day 4 of the Cheltenham Festival preview with ourselves. We'll kick right into the Prime Portal, and Alan, we'll start with you.
Yeah, Ryan, this is my nap at the festival. Zana here. Now, for me, just looking at the prices, they are gone very short now, 5 to 4. I was actually blown away by this horse on Fairy House. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but when the camera angle changed on racing TV, he absolutely came up past St. Sam as if he wasn't standing there, and he quickened away to win very impressively. He's unbeaten in 3 starts over hurdles. Started his career off in Ballinrobe, which, look, if anyone was saying he'll go from Ballinrobe to Cheltenham doing a triumph, it wouldn't probably be standout. He was formerly trained by Michael Halford on the flat. He's bred by the Aga Khan. I think he has far too much speed and far too many gears for this field. Look, he takes plenty of beat for me.
Yeah, I'd be 100% in agreement with you there, Alan. I think that's Zana here, and I have been a fan of Zana here for a long time. Like you say, it's Fairy House run. What's not to like about it? Form stacks up. St. Sam ran a great race the other day. I just think he's going to be well prepared. He has enough experience. I just think it's tailor-made for him. It's going to be a fantastic start to day 4 as well.
Yeah, I'm not in the same boat, boys. I'm going for the other horse, Calixius, now trained by Henry de Bromhead. He has also been foot perfect so far and won at Leopardstown the other weekend. There's not too much you could fault with him. All right then. Yeah, I just think Calixius could really put it up to on here. I'd say it's probably another one of them races where it's top 3 in the market are going to dominate.
Well, at the minute, there's 8 still in that race. So if you're punting big, you can't see really Zana here being out of the top 3,
Yeah.
Depending on, and maybe there might be something pulled out closer to the time, we don't know yet, but
yeah. We'll move on to the county hurdle, and I am going for Champagne Gold. The informed team of Henry de Bromhead and Rachel Blackmore was second to drop the anchor last time at Leopardstown. Came second by a length and a half. That day dropped the anchor was £6 better off, with Simon Torrens on board claiming 5. In this, however, drop the anchor is only £1 better off. Torrens' claim is now down to £3. So I think on the way to Champagne Gold could well find that extra length and a half. And at 14 to 1, it's a very good price.
Go ahead, Alan.
Yeah, I done a wee bit of study on this race now. Just on a couple of the stats in the race. 9 out of the last 12 winners have been aged 5 or 6. 9 out of 12 have carried 11 stone 1 or less. 8 out of 12 had one run at Cheltenham before, and 12 out of 12 been rated 1, 3, 4 or higher. Now, that brings me into that race, Ryan, that you mentioned with Champagne Gold. But the one that I'm going to actually go for is the Sneezy Foster trained Santa Row. Now, this herd was third to Aramax in the Boodles last season. He struggled to get his head in front this year. Started on a rating of 130. He's only 135 now. He's a likeable profile for this race. And I've seen 20 to 1 floating around. Now, if you're taking Champagne Gold in there, 12s, 14s, Santa Row wasn't too far behind them at Leopardstown. He's 20 to 1. I think, Green, we could be on the same lane and it might be far away in that race.
Yeah.
This is a real tricky one because I watched an interview Harry Skelton done, and he thought that You Raise Me Up was his best chance of a winner all week, considering that he had All Mankind in there. He had Nube Negra today as well, or on the Champion Chase as well, like 13 rookies in there, about 13 to 2. But one that did catch my eye that's at a very, very big price is Petit Mouchoir. Hasn't been disgraced lately. Running against a real quality caliber of a horse or horses. 33 to 1. Jordan Gainsford's taking £7 off. That'll give him a weight there pretty close to Alan what you're saying. With the stats. 33 to 1's big price. I would be happy to take an each way playing him.
We'll move on to the Albert Bartlett then, boys. Alaphilippe for me, O'Brien and Brennan. Was impressed with the Haydock, only won by 14 lengths and was just beat at Taunton before that. Fergal was fairly sweet on him on our interview, so I'd happily take the 8th one.
Yeah.
Look.
Go ahead, Al.
Sorry, Dean. Look, as Ryan, as you said, like the interviews have been flying. Nick Schofield landed a winner for us in Sky Pirate, and Henry de Bromhead has been in top form. It'd be great for Fergal to get the winner with Alaphilippe. But the one, look, I've seen a lot of money coming for it. The one that actually stands out for me is Statler. Third to Gaillard de Menil last time. Now, Gaillard de Menil, that form probably didn't really work out great, but impressive the time before beating Glens of Antrim in his maiden hurdle, giving her £7. She's well fancied as well in a mare's race. Look at the trip sure to suit. He looks to be learning all the time. They tried to make all the running with him the last day. Look, I think he'll probably improve for the trip. Wouldn't surprise me if he's close to the pace. 7 to 2. Is it a bit skinny in a race like this?
Yeah, you still get 4 to 1 there about it on 365 for anybody that's watching on. One that I've been kind of sweet on for a while is Admiral for Tom Lacey, Richard Johnson. I just thought the last race that he run, he looked like a perfect Albert Bartlett horse. A dogged, tough, big-hearted soul who would just give everything. And he just kept finding to get up that day. He's in there. He's been actually well supported recently. I got 16s about him. He's in there to 11s now. I'd be happy still to play each way on him.
Yeah. We'll move on to the big one, the Gold Cup. It's a tough race this year. Albion Photo obviously looking for that 3rd win. Only been seen once in, I suppose, his annual outing at Tramore, where he bet Akbel Bourgeois a lot more comfier this year than he did last year. Yeah. Anything else? Maybe Henry's too. Happily tired Manel. Henry's all out this year, isn't he? He could well walk away with Gold Cup as well.
Yeah, well, as you lads know, like I have a pretty sweet bet run on there, and I'm hoping that it's going to come down to the last two now. I need Envoy Allen on the tomorrow being Thursday. I would really love to see Albin Photo winning it for the history. You know, three in a row. You know, Wally Mullins never won it before, going on to win 3 in a row then as well. It's hard not to like him, but if I was taking one at bigger odds, one that we know is going to make running and go out in front is Native River, but it's whether or not the ground comes up maybe soft enough for him. You know, he's in there about 14-1. Interesting, I know, interesting that Royal Pagaille has went here and not the National Hunt Chase. So there's a few in there that obviously fancy their chances, but I'll stick with my heart. I'll say Albin Photo.
Yeah, the kind of the angle I took into this race was there's a lot of question marks about the opposition, and while people try to like look into what's going to go wrong with Albin Photo, I don't think there's probably much that can go wrong. I think he's bomb-proof. I think, as Ryan said there, he's very impressive at Tremor. Look, he's been here before. He's done it. Look, Santini is one maybe to just keep an eye on if the cheap pieces walk. Champ as well. Will he be too free with the prep run over 2 mile? He was free last year, got up to beat Manella Indo. Look, I'm happy enough to play. It's probably a race to watch for the sport. Albin Photo 9-4, 5-2. Yeah, small play probably.
Yeah, just one more about it. Like, you know, when you look so far this week, folks, like horses for courses, course and distance winners, or horses that's won at the track before. It is massive. We all seen with the Champion Chase. You know, some people are saying now that the Hull caught Shaq and Persoir out, but Put the Kettle on loves the course, loves the distance. You know, it's just something to keep an eye on. Like, and as you say, Alan, people are trying to pick holes in Albin Photo. What could go wrong? You look at all the positive signs, like.
Yeah, no, that is massive. Like, we did look as well, and I don't know if like for anyone watching Monkfish, he's a big horse, and he struggled on some of them fences today. Like, it's different, a galloping track like Leopardstown. We seen what Put the Kettle on did. Look, it's going to work out like that. Tiger Roll was the same. Went to the front, very exuberant. He'd been round there before, and he was impressive. So it could happen here again.
Yeah.
Yep. And just on Santini, Alan, I think I've seen on Twitter today that Santini's not going to wear cheek pieces. Instead, he's going to wear a visor.
Right. Well, that might be even more to suit, because I just think if he had to be lit up a little bit sooner last year, he might have got up. But it's going to be an absolute belt of a race. As I questioned Henry on Absolute Hard whether the stamina was going to be a problem, he said he didn't think it was, because when he won the Savills, he went all the way through the lane. So that team's in flying form. He couldn't be put off by that either.
Yeah, 100% agree. We'll move on to the Fox Hunters, and I'm going for last year's second in this Billaway. Willie Mullins. Billaway has been impressive this year. 2 wins from 3. Won his last 2. He was very impressive at Naas at the end of January with Patrick Mullins on board. I think Billaway at 11-4 is fairly good.
Yeah, I've been on the same boat for quite a while, Ryan. I just think he's been impressive enough this season. Just a shame that Patrick Mullins isn't on board, because this is the race that he likes to win, and I'm sure that he would have been targeting the National Hunt Chase with a nice one as well. I think it's hard to pick holes in him. You know, he was probably unlucky last year with it come to pass. You know, but when we speak about horses for courses, you know, you can't really go wrong if you take either of them. But I do think that Billaway has been tailor-made for it.
Yeah, like Billaway will be hard to beat. Just the one further down the market I'm kind of keeping an eye on is Hazel Hill. Actually won this race back in 2019. Look, it's gonna have to be a monumental performance at the age of 13. He's not going to be improving. He was very impressive at Ludlow recently. Like, I watched this and I watched it very closely. He never travelled. He jumped poorly, but he got there and he went on to win and stayed on very well. Again, not saying he'll get up to beat Billaway, but I think he could run a good race at 14-16 to 1.
Yep. And we'll move on to the Mayors. I am fairly disheartened that Annie Mac obviously isn't in this. But I'm going to go for Coolreevy. Could get a huge form boost should Mount Ida win the day before the Thursday. Obviously, this will be a half-hour race, so we'll know well by then. But Coolreevy has been in good form anyway. Without that, won the last 3. I think 3 to 1 is a very good price. I know, Dean, you're probably not in agreement, but I think you like something else, don't you?
Yeah, no, but like, there is lots to like about Coolreevy as well. Like, you can't fault any ever starts the season. She's been really, really good. I thought if Put the Kettle On would have run in this race, she would have absolutely ate them all alive. But like, we can see now why Henry and the gang decided to go for the champion chase, because like, what a great mare she is. But I've been following Ellie May for quite a while, and I just think the way she chased home Allaho and then went on then and won her on her last start. Like, Allaho could give her a good form boost there as well. We're talking about Coolreevy getting a form boost. Allaho goes and wins the Ryanair. Then, like, Ellie May's going to probably be cut again. She's 11 to 8 there now at best. Like, she's short, but I'll take her.
Yeah, I'm totally agreeing, Steen. Just looking at the line of form there through Shadowed Love, she gave Shadowed Love £5 at Nace last time over 2 mile, and she beat her easy for me. Like, look, it gives her £3 this time around, goes up to 2.5 mile. It should really suit Ellie May because she was doing all her best work in the closest stages. As you said, Dean, she was second to Allaho in the Grade 2 at Thurles the time before. 5 to 4, 11 to 8 again. Look, it's probably something, maybe double it up with Zana here or try and put it in a multiple, trying to get a bit of value out of it. But look, she takes a lot of beating for me.
Yep. And moving on to the final race of the festival, the Martin Pipe. For me, we got told it by a few people now, and one that would be the regular jockey of it, Gavinaco, at 15 to 2. The form for Gavinaco would get a big boost should the line form in the county hurdle work out. But yeah, go for Gavinaco.
Yeah, exactly the same. But Gavinaco's form already took a massive boost with Bob Ollinger. It was third to Bob Ollinger in Lawler's Nice and the Grade 1. Now he's rocking up here in the Martin Pipe conditionals. Have we got a jockey book in here? Conor McNamara. I think he rides for Gavin anyway. Like, I just, as you say, Ryan, we have been told this now, or we've been talking to a few people, and one who would be the regular rider, and there's lots to like whenever you actually look at the form. If you, for instance, like if people are doubting the form line on it, you go look at Sky Pirate. Second behind All Mankind. All Mankind wasn't disgraced. Still ran a good race in a Grade 1. Sky Pirate hacked up in Hanukkah. Form lines are there, and I just think Gavinaco is under 8 to 1 now, which might not suit a lot of people, but I think he's got a great each way shot.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Look at the thing with Gavinaco as well, that form probably from the Lawlers and Ace is really, really strong because Blue Lord was probably going to be second in the Supreme as well when he came down at the last. Just the one for me to win that is Gentleman to Me. Now, I actually, when he won his debut, I actually had a few quid in a anti-post for a Supreme. He didn't go there. He's coming here and said, I have kind of watched a number of Willie Mullins' French recruits taking a very, very keen hold in the races and not seeing the race out, especially Tax for Max, who's going to run in the Triumph. But this horse took a keen hold at Nace, but he was very, very impressive in beating Don Diablo. Now, I went back through his French form. Both Grand Dete, who beat him in Saint-Puance, and Magrudy, who beat him in Compiègne, have both come out and won since, and have won conditions races, which looks very, very, very good form. Now, again, how good he is, we don't know. Is it a sort of a JP gamble? Will we see him very short? look, he's 9-2 in around that at the minute. He could be far, far too good for this field. Probably wouldn't mind playing Gabanaco and Gentleman to me in a little reverse forecast.
That would pay well.
Yeah.
Boys will do nap next best each way. I'll start you. Well, I've started all week. I nap up Bill away in the Fox Hunters. Next best, Alaphilippe and the Albert Bartlett. Next, or each way, I will go Champagne Gold in the County Hurdle.
Playing it probably safe, I would say, and saying Zana here. Next best, by the way. Each way, big price, Petit Mouchoir.
Yeah, I'll agree with you, Dean. I'll nap up Santa here in the Triumph. My next best, probably I'd say Gentleman to me in the Martin Pipe. And each way, Santa Row in the county. Keep an eye on him. He'll probably be running on late and fast.
Yep. That's that. We will be back for Dundalk next time you see us. Back to our old stomp and grind.
Back to the
Actually get winners. Yeah. Good luck.